Hello everyone, and let's start the new chapter called Alternating Current. Till now, whatever we have understood in current and electricity, all were direct current, DC current, DC met current. And for DC source, we use this kind of arrangement that's called battery, and this battery supplies a constant current because it maintain a constant EMF or potential difference. So over the time, this current becomes constant. It is over the time for let's say inductor and capacitor for short time, but this variation is not alternate, right? So that is the basic difference between AC and DC. In AC source, the current will be or the voltage, so both the current or voltage will be varying alternatively. So this will change or changes, they change alternatively. Alternately means they are periodic as well as they change sign. Alternatively means they are periodic. That means over the time they repeat themselves and they change sign. That means there is a change in direction. Sign or change in direction. For current, you can say there is a change in direction. That means current will be flowing in one direction, then it will be flowing in the another direction, and that change will be periodic. These 2 points are very important for AC source. So current and voltage will be changing alternatively. That means changing period sign or direction will be changing periodically, which is not the case in case of DC. In DC, the current is remains the constant. Current always remains constant. Even if it varies, it's not varying alternatively and neither periodically changing its sign. So let me give some example. If we plot the current with respect to time, and there have been four figures, we can identify which one is representing for alternating current, which is going to represent for a DC current, not alternating, that means direct current. Now in the figure number 1, if you look carefully, it says the current remains this. That is, current is a constant. This is current I. So if it is a constant, that means it's a DC source. So that's a DC current. Which in figure number 2, if you look at, the current is increasing from 0 to higher value, then decreasing to 0, then increasing to higher value, then decreasing to 0. It might be repeating itself like this. So this is periodically, of course, but it's in only one direction. So the direction is, there's a positive side. So it's a current starts from 0, goes to higher, becomes 0, then again flows in the same direction. So there is no change in direction. Our condition is the change in direction is important and it has to be periodically. So this is periodically but not changing the direction. Hence we will call it as a DC. So that's also direct current, which is varying. Right, so direct current can be constant as well as variable. And what the AC is, it's variable, changing the direction as well as periodic variable. Now look at the third figure. In this figure, this current was in one direction maximum, then decreasing to 0, then again another direction increasing to maximum, then becoming 0, then goes to the different direction because it's changing its direction, then 0. Then you can think of it's not only periodically changing but also having plus and minus. That means it is changing its sign, or you can say direction. So this is known as AC source. So this is an example of AC source. Similarly, if you look this, the current increases to maximum, then decreases to 0 in one direction, then does the same in another direction and completes one cycle. Then the same cycle is being repeated. That means this is also an example of alternating current source. So that's the AC current, that's the AC current, where earlier these two were the DC source. So now the definition must have been clear. What the definition is: current or voltage must vary periodically, and there has to be change in the direction. That means current must be changing the direction, or voltage must be changing their sign, polarities, right? And we have a symbol for AC current, just like we have a symbol for DC. Symbol is like this. For symbol purpose, we make a circle, and in between we show alternating sign. We show this kind of sign that it says like sinusoidal or something like. but it simply means like sometime it will be upside, sometime it will be downside. So there will be two terminals like this. Two terminals will be like this. So this is AC source symbol. Unlike the battery, you clearly know what is plus, what was is minus. Here it's not so clear because we know this is going to change periodically. So sometimes this will be plus, this terminal will be minus, sometimes this terminal will be plus, this terminal will be minus, because it changes its sign or direction. Hence, it's symmetrical for both the sides. Symmetrical for both the sides. And we write here either we will writing V. If we are writing V, that means it's a voltage source, or we can write it as I. If we are writing I, that means it's a current source. That means that will be providing current. That means current is given. If we are writing means voltage is given, and that can be connected to any circuit, right? So AC circuit will be appearing some sort of this. You will have a combination of elements. These elements can be resistance, inductor, capacitor, or any combination of them, or maybe sources, and then there will be a AC source connected like this. So we will call this as AC circuit, and this source will be looking like this. So let me redraw it. It is going to be like this. So that's AC source. Here it can be resistance, inductor, capacitor, various combinations. So it can be any network, and this will be known as AC circuit. You can see it's very similar to that we have talked about for DC. Only the symbol has changed, and of course further will be changing depending on all that, but the circuit looks like similar. Okay, and here you will find sometime current will be running like this, then current will be running in this manner. That means current will be changing its direction. Hence we will not be preferring to draw the arrow, because we know this arrow will be changing over the time, or sometime upside, sometime downside. So we simply write it as like I current is flowing in it, and we will write it as a V will be given to you. So if it is a voltage source, so current will be flowing. If it is a current source, still the current will be flowing. So that's how we will draw the AC circuit. This is a symbol of AC source, and this is the DC that you have already talked about. And this example compares when we say AC source, when we say DC source. These are examples. In these examples, the plot is with current. This could also be with voltage. So if it is with voltage, we will have the same response. So for voltage or current, we will follow the same thing. That means alternating current, basically alternating voltage. Okay. And now let's move ahead and try to write this alternating voltage and current. And these two are AC example. Generally, it will for us to work for this kind of, which is sinusoidal. That means this will be either cos function or sine function. So let's start with that. So let's say consider an AC circuit. So this is an AC circuit. I'm not drawing here the resistance, capacitor, whatsoever are going to be there, or any combination of them. So simply focusing first on this and trying to tell you what the source, how this is being represented, what these letters mean, and then we will be start solving AC circuits in actual sense. So let's say this is AC source. So if it is shown like this, we will say this is AC circuit, this is AC source, this is network, and AC source will be given like this. V is equal to something. Let's say it's a voltage source. And most frequently we will find this sinusoidal ones. So let's say sinusoidal one is given as a V naught sine omega t. Sine omega t. That means it is sinusoidal AC source. And this is how the voltage has been given to us. That means V naught is given to us, omega is given to us, and then you'll find this V can be found out at any time. If you plot this V, you will find this V will be following a sine curve. That means it will be going upside, then becoming zero, then downside, and this will be repeating itself. This will be repeating itself, right? So this is how you'll find this V will be varying. So that means it's alternate, repeating. So it's an AC source example. Now, that means this V is a function of time. So if you need to find say what is the voltage of this source, so you say it's a function of time. That's sinusoidal. So this V is going to be indicating the maximum value. So there are certain terms that we follow. One is called peak value. Peak value which is basically maximum value. So in any AC source, whether it's of current or voltage, peak value refers to the maximum value of that quantity. For instance, in this case, we will be saying this is V max, that is maximum, and it is going to be equal to V naught. That's going to be the peak value. Okay, and then next quantity that we talk about, the average value. Function of time, so we need to talk about how to calculate average value. If it is, we are talking about in terms of voltage, so it's going to be V average. V average will be written as whenever the instantaneous value is given to us, we can always find the average by doing this integration V dt divided by integration of dt. Since these are periodically changing things, that means the average value has to be over one time period, because every time period it is going to be repeated. So we find it from 0 to t, 0 to t. Okay. And in case of sinusoidal, because we have taken this an example, and you'll find mostly you are going to get as the sinusoidal expressions. So this value can be calculated. So let's calculate what the V average is going to come. So V average is going to be integration V, in place of V, you can write this V naught sine omega t, V naught sine omega t, V naught cos omega t, or omega t plus phi, or anything. And you integrate from 0 to t and integrate the denominator as well. When you are going to integrate denominator, you find it's going to be t. After putting, it's going to get t as outside. So V naught is a constant, you can take it outside and divide it by t. Integration of sine, you must be knowing, becomes minus cos omega t, and you know, as per the rules of integration, we have to divide by this omega. Limit goes from 0 to t, 0 to t. So you'll find the average value of this sinusoidal voltage source is going to be this V naught divided by t into omega. You can take this minus outside and put the values, so it becomes cos omega capital T minus cos 0 1. And what is omega? Let's talk one more point about this. Omega is basically angular frequency. This angular frequency is equal to twice pi f, that is frequency, or frequency you can call it, and 2 pi by capital T, whereas the t is a time period. So this omega is the same omega that you have already know. So from here you can find out that what the value of omega t is going to be. Omega t is simply twice pi capital T when you multiply with this capital T, right? So you'll find it becomes minus V naught divided by omega twice pi, and this becomes cos twice pi minus cos 0. Cos 0 came out to be 1. So let me write as a cos 0. You will find cos 0 is going to be 1. You will find cos 2 pi is also going to be 1, because you after 2 pi it repeats itself. So 1 minus 1 will become 0. So that means you will find this is going to be 0. So point is, whenever a sinusoidal source is available, so we can conclude from here. So I'm writing, taking this point over here, and we are writing that V average is equal to 0. So whenever there is a sinusoidal AC source and somebody asking what is the average value over one time period is going to be, you will find it's going to be 0 over one time period, mind it. And if it is asking for another time, let's say maybe half of the time period, quarter of the time period, then you need to find it out. It is 0. And you'll find for one time period it is 0. So that's how we will calculating the average value. So idea is to explain you how to calculate the average value for any time duration, and generally we talk about one time period. For that it is coming to be 0. Okay, so these are the two ways of expressing the values. Peak value, that's the maximum. Average value, which is going to be calculated like this, and for sinusoidal over one time period came out to be 0. Now, since this average for a sinusoidal that we use is come out to be 0 over a one time period, that means it says over one time period there is no voltage on an average. Similarly, I average, the current average, is also going to be 0. So this 0 will not give you any information about that source and the things that are going there. So we define a third quantity or third way, that's called root mean square value, third value, and that value becomes very important in AC source. So this one is RMS value, RMS mean square. So its full form is mean square value. In short, we call it as a RMS value. And if instantaneous value of voltage or current is known to us, we can always find this RMS value. And how we are going to form that, find this RMS value? Let's say we are writing for V. So VRMS is defined as, or any RMS value is defined as like this. This RMS you have understood in thermodynamics somewhere, KT already. Similar formula we are using is going to be integration V square dt. It's RMS value square over the time. So from 0 to t, if we are calculating for one time period, divided by 0 to t dt. That means it's basically average value square and then taking square the root. So first we take this root, and then mean means average, and mean of what? Mean of square. So squares mean square root of it. That's called VRMS. So how to calculate instantaneous value will be given to you. You need to square it, integrate it, and for one time period, simplify it, take a square root, that becomes VRMS. So in examination, many times they will give you a relation or formula of this voltage source or maybe the current source, or they may give you a graph. Out of that, you might be asked what is the RMS value. Now, if it is a sinusoid, we can simplify it, we can get an expression. But if it is any other, then you need to follow this. This is a general definition. And here you need to place the value of V squared, then go for integrations, do everything, you will find it, its answer for that particular case. As far as this sine or cos or anything is concerned, for that sake, we can simplify here and see what the RMS value comes out to be. We can check as coming 0 or non-zero. So as square root, or let's do this calculation separately. So if I integrate this number 0 to t v square dt. So if we are integrating this number, then you'll find we need to go from 0 to t as for integration is concerned, and squaring this will lead to v naught square sine square omega t. And you can simplify this then after if you want. Right, how we can simplify this integration? You need to take v naught square outside, then you need to divide by 2 so that it becomes 2 square omega t. So 2 sine square theta, you can write that 2 sine square theta, and 2 sine square theta will come out to be 1 minus cos 2 theta. 2 theta means twice omega t. I'm writing this directly a bit. So a formula that I have applied is 2 sine square theta. By now you must be able to understand this. By 2. Now let's go inside. Integration will lead to t, that is basically t. After putting the limit, cos 2 omega t, if you are going to integrate this, you are going to get converted into this sine 2 omega t. Sine 2 omega into t. And divide by twice omega. You know that way of integration or rules of integration. Then place the value from 0 to capital T. So that's integration of this part. We can go ahead and we can say finally what it is coming. So this is going to be t minus, in this, if you look at carefully, you'll find what it is going to be. Let me take 1 upon twice omega outside and then put the values. When you place this value, so that will become twice omega into capital T, omega into capital T minus sine 0. You know the values of sine being 0, sine 0 is 0, or omega t, this omega t is 2 pi. So this will become basically 4 pi. So this number is equal to 4 pi. And you know sine for multiple of pi becomes 0. So 0 minus 0, that means this entire stuff is 0. Entire stuff is 0. We can say this integration came out to be v naught square by 2 into t. So this is the integration of square of v for voltage over here. Similarly, if it would, or even if it would have been cos, then you can think of this cos would have been getting converted into this cos again will be converted into ultimate cos 2 theta formula. Then it will come like one time period, it will always become 0. So this will come the value. Now we can come back to this and we can identify what this RMS value is going to be. So we can say VRMS root mean square root of this upside numerator we have identified, it's coming out V naught square T by 2. And this denominator is very simple, it's a T. So you'll find T getting cancelled out. So what we are going to left with is V naught by T, V naught by root 2, V naught by root 2. So from here we got a relation. That relation is VRMS, that means root mean square value is going to be V naught, which is the peak value, divided by root 2. So whenever you get a sinusoidal AC source, then you need to say the peak value and R value, they are linked together, and that becomes a very important relation. Most of the time you need to find the RMS value, so you are not going to do all this calculation repeatedly. Rather, what you are going to get, you will be simply finding the V naught and divided by root value of VRMS directly. Similarly, in case if we need to find the IRMS value for current sinusoidal case, we can I naught maximum value divided by root 2. So RMS values can be identified in case of sinusoidal sources like peak divided by root 2. So this RMS value is used frequently or more extensively in case of AC sources because this does not come in cycle. Whereas average value comes to 0, so that is of no use. This is of most of the uses. Moreover, why we use this RMS value, there is one more reason we will talk about, and whenever we will say that there is a source, that means we are going to indicate this RMS value. Meaning is this, let me take this by an example. So what that mean by is this, let's say somebody says this is AC source and AC source is of 220 volt AC source. So why how we are going to decode this information, what we will say what this 220 means, because it's not giving in that format, in the format that we are used to. Like if it is given like V omega t, then we can find out this is a peak, then we can find average, we can find everything else. So many time it will be saying that 220 volt, and along with this it will be writing 50 hertz AC of this. So if it is mentioned like 220 volt 50 hertz AC source frequency, so from from this this information that is given in this 220 volt and 50 hertz, so from there we can find that frequency is 50 hertz. Once we got this frequency as a 50 hertz, you'll find omega can be calculated using 2 pi into f, and we can convert in that sinusoidal, no, V is equal to V naught sin omega t or something like that, right? And what this point is, what this 220 volt is indicating, whether it's indicating the peak value, whether it's talking about the average value or RMS value or which value. So whenever you find this kind of information given, this is always the RMS value. So from here we will say VRMS is given as 220 volt. So whenever you find this kind of language, source information, just like by voltage, it's always the RMS, it's not the average, it's neither the peak value, and it's RMS value. Yes, once we got this RMS value, we can always find the peak value. How we can find the peak value? Because we know V naught by root 2, peak value by this is equal to the RMS value. So what the V naught is going to be, you can see root 2 times VRMS, and VRMS is 220. This roughly 3 calculated, so it's going to be V naught is equal to 220 root 2 volt. This is the peak value. Okay, so you got the point. The point is, whenever this kind of indications or information is given, it talks about RMS value. RMS is very, very important. And if it is mentioning that this is a peak, so you will peak. If it is not mentioning, then it is RMS value. Peak value, you got the omega value. Now you can, if you want, you can write it in terms of written as like this: V naught, V is equal to V naught sine omega t plus phi. We write sine omega. This phi will be considering all the cases. That means initial condition, whether it start from 0 or it start from maximum, right? So V naught came out to be this 220 root 2, and then you can write it as sine omega is 2 pi f, so you can write it as 100 into pi into t plus phi. And the question will give you some more information, so that what the phi is basically the initial condition. So this will be in terms of function of time, and this is that means not disclosing the function of time expression. So we can convert this information into the function of time expression, or if this function of time expression is given to us, from there we can find the peak value, then we can find the RMS value, and we can also find the frequency using this omega. So this is how you will be able to understand the information about the source. Now here I have given the example for the voltage source. You can always get the similar information about current source as well. So we need to follow the same rules. Important rule is formula that mass and peak, they are related in sinusoidal case like this. Okay, so this is basic about the source of AC, how it varies, and how what these letters indicate. And whenever there is an AC source, you will find the frequency, because this is alternate, we have already talked about, so omega has to be written in this format. Fine. So let's keep up to this point only, and in the upcoming video we will be learning how we can calculate the current in any circuit, how we can calculate the current in any circuit if the voltage is given to us. That means this information, if it is given, how can we find what the current is, and then we need to know how we will be calculating the power dissipation and everything related to the circuit that we have talked about. In circuit, what is important for us to know is current flowing through the each branches or each element, then the potential difference, or you can say each terminal or each element. You find if this voltage is AC, then the current is going to be AC. That means voltage across all the elements, whether it's a resistance, inductor or capacitor, is going to keep on changing. That will be, all this will be function of time. And whenever we talk about simply a voltage, we need to talk about RMS value. When we are simply talking about the current, we need to talk about the RMS value. Okay, so this is basic introductory part of it. In the next video you will find the calculation for R circuit, L circuit, C circuit, RL circuit, RC circuit, LC circuit and RLC circuit in combined together. So thank you everyone, have a great time.